All right, welcome everybody. We're excited to have you all here today. My name is Joe Tulin, and I'm with Green Latinos, and we're here to talk about our partnership with Latino Justice, which is funded by the Blaustein Philanthropic Group, and go forward with some of the work that we have. So, just a quick overview of the agenda. We'll do some introductions. And then I'll pass it over to our friends at Latino Justice to talk about the work that they're doing. Green Latinos will talk about the work that we're doing and how we can support our partners on the ground. And then we'll have some time for Q&A at the end. So just to do some quick introductions, my name is Joe Tulin. I'm the Justicia y Equidad Fund Director here at Green Latinos, and I lead our grant-making portfolio along with the Colaborativo 40 program. And I'll pass it over to Margarita, who's on my team.
Hi, I'm Margarita Bosa Bastidas. I'm the Justicia y Equidad Coordinator. I support Joe in, supporting our awardees, as well as Colaborativo 40. I am based out of Los Angeles, and I will pass it on to Roberto.
Hello, everyone. My name is Roberto Cruz. I'm the Southeast Regional Managing Attorney for Latino Justice Pearl Deaf. My office is located in Orlando, Florida.
Well, thank you for being here today. And we're just going to move right into the presentation, and I'll let Roberto, you take it over.
Thank you, Joe. Again, as we all know, this is a presentation that is geared towards folks that are mostly interested in seeking some kind of financing for their nonprofit organization plans. So this presentation is targeted to folks in Florida and Puerto Rico that want to serve the Latino community and are just looking for some kind of technical support in terms of finance and legal aspects of your operations. Next. So a little bit about us. Latino Justice Pearl Deaf is a nonprofit organization with its headquarters in New York. We do have two regional offices, one in Florida, where I work, and another one in Austin, Texas. We do have work throughout the Southeast, and that includes the territory of Puerto Rico. And I will let Green Latinos explain a little bit more about their organizations. But if you're looking at this presentation, you definitely know about Green Latinos. And again, regarding the purpose of this specific presentation, we're going to focus on how to help Hispanic organizations in Puerto Rico and Florida, and how to get some kind of funding either from the government or private entities that is focused on environmental justice. Next. So overall, if you want to look at our vision and our mission is to promote Latino organizations as leaders in the fields of governmental and private financing. And it is the mission of Latino Justice and Green Latinos to provide the tools, the capacity, technical support, and legal assistance that is needed in order to strengthen these Latino organizations. Next. Now, there are different components to the kind of technical assistance that, for instance, Green Latinos can provide. In terms of the program, Green Latinos can offer templates. They can provide support by helping organizations create applications, solid ones for grants, and make sure that they are competitive applications when submitted to a grantor. These kinds of templates are adaptable to a variety of opportunities for federal and private financing. And We also want to make sure that not only do we know how to apply, but once we get the funding, that we know how to follow the correct policies, norms, and procedures that are established by these grantors. We also want to make sure that we understand the requisites in order to become a primary beneficiary of these kinds of grants. Most of small organizations are used to handle grants as a sub-grantee. So there's a principal that hires us in order to help out with the project. But we also want to make sure that small organizations also get the chance to be the principal in these kinds of dealings. We also want to make sure that the services that are delivered by these non-governmental organizations follow proper procedure in terms of filing the appropriate forms, reports, and adhere to proper operation standards for specifically federal grants. Next. In addition to this technical guidance, we also have materials for organizations to have in their own libraries. These kinds of materials include recordings of trainings. They also include manuals and guides. And all of these tools are offered to these organizations in order to make sure that they have some kind of where to go resource when they have a question that needs to be answered on the fly. Now, these guides come from different sources. If it's in the area of financing, they mostly come from GreenLatinos. If they're in the areas of corporate governance or legal matters, then they should usually come from Latino Justice. Next. Now, in order to give you a sense of some of the materials that are at your disposal, we've already recorded 5 courses. One in environmental justice and climate resilience, another one on the legal framework of environmental justice. We also included another one on climate change litigation and legislative advocacy. We also have one that is only focused on legislative advocacy. And last but not least, we also have one on disaster management, which is definitely appropriate for Florida and Puerto Rico. You can find some of these resources at the YouTube page of Latino Justice and also at Colaborativo 40 and the Green Latinos portal. So to give you a summary of some of the legal services that Latino Justice can provide, we can help with things like helping an organization choose a legal form in order to make sure that they get qualified for grants as a nonprofit organization. Just because you have a corporation doesn't mean it meets the requirements that either the federal government or private entities require in order for you to qualify for a grant. So we help you structure your legal status. We can also review legal documents for you, either from the federal government or private entities, in order for you to understand what your responsibilities would be under a grant. We also give you legal support on everything that has to do with corporate governance and administrative management. We're looking at things like how to conduct a board meeting, how to make sure that each member of your board is fully complying with the expectations of their role, how to make sure that you submit the proper documentation to the Department of State, either in Florida and Puerto Rico, in order to keep your corporate status going. We also provide assistance with land use and environmental impact studies. We can also provide you with guidance on sustainable community initiatives and how to protect them legally. As we know, just to give you an example, some of the people that we help do have a component where they make sure that they exercise their First Amendment rights. Well, we want to make sure that when organizations do that, they are protected from enforcement by some of the local agencies. So this kind of advice is definitely necessary. We also provide help with post-disaster and climate resilience, along with some of our partners in both Florida and Puerto Rico. And we definitely help with structuring your labor and contracting structures. We want to make sure that when you build your corporation, that you know the applicable labor laws, and if you're subcontracting, that you're doing it in accordance to the law, and that all parties understand what their responsibilities and duties are under this structure. Next. Now, just to give you an example of how we have helped organizations in the past, just last year, we provided assistance to 2 organizations that successfully filed a request for funding with the federal government. And this is the matter of Alawi es Justicia Energética. In this particular instance, there was a project that was initiated by the Virgin Islands Justice Initiative. And as a partner, they had El Puente Puerto Rico. Now, one was in the Virgin Islands, the other one in Puerto Rico. They both worked together in order to bring up a grant under the EPA. They were successfully able to provide a good proposal. We provided services such as making sure that both parties knew of each other, because we knew both parties, and they needed some support, but they didn't necessarily knew how to network enough to know that they even existed or had the same goals. So we were able to build that network. We provided bilingual support. We also gave them templates. We were able to guide them through the policies of how to apply for federal funding. Provided them with solutions to some of the problems that they were trying to tackle. And they immediately got access to $3 million in federal funding. Now, unfortunately, we all know what happened with some of these federal funds with this new administration, but that's what we're here for. We're here to make sure that you look at other alternatives than the EPA, such as the Department of Agriculture and other sources, in order to make sure that you are able to pursue your environmental justice goals. Next. So how do you participate in the program? Well, first know that all of the services that we provide are free of charge. You can request an evaluation to receive some of our free services. You can definitely access our courses online for free through YouTube or through the Colaborativo 40 and Green Latinos portals. You can receive technical assistance that is tailored to your needs through Latino Justice, and you can get legal assistance through Latino Justice Pearl Deaf. Next. Now, in order to contact us, you have our information on your screen. You can either call us, you can email me, or you can submit your request for a callback through our website, latinojustice.org. So thank you for your time, and I'm going to go ahead and pass it to Joe for the next item on your agenda.
Thank you, Roberto. I'm going to go into a little bit more detail about Green Latinos and what we can provide on our end. And so we're really happy to be part of this partnership and share a little bit more about how we can support as well. So a little bit about Green Latinos. I think most folks here know who we are, but if you do not, we're a national nonprofit organization working with Latina leaders to confront the largest environmental issues in our community. And so we work really closely with a lot of our partners to get work done on the ground. And my program works on getting money out the door for communities. So you can see some photos from some events here, including in the rain, getting trees planted and in the ground, but we're excited to do that. Green Latinos, our theory of change really centers around three pieces of work. We convene people, so we bring people together to talk about the most important issues facing our community. Some of that can be cultural gatherings as well, having fun in our identity and our heritage. We also serve as a capacity builder, which is where our team comes in. We provide both financial and also any other resources that nonprofit organizations may need. And so the Justicia and Equidad Fund provides financial resources, and Colaborativo 40 provides other resources, including technical assistance around managing grant funding, development support, and I'll talk a little bit more soon about the other resources that we can provide as a capacity builder. And then finally, Green Latinos also serves as an advocate for our communities. We teach other people how to advocate, how to have conversations with their elected officials, both at the state and local level, but also at the federal level. And so that is another big piece of the work that Green Latinos does. And Colaborativo 40, it is the first of its kind collaborative made up of Latino-led organizations, environmental justice organizations, businesses, universities, Latinas, other unions, and elected officials. So on here, these are sort of the founding members of Colaborativo 40, and Latino Justice was one of them with us. And through that, last year, we reached over 300 groups to support them in different ways around accessing federal funding and other resources that they may need. So what can we provide, and what are some of our upcoming services? We can help provide grant compliance and legal oversight if you're managing grants. My background is actually in managing federal funding, and that's what I was doing before I came to Green Latinos and while I'm here. And so that background is one that can help other organizations with the work that they're doing. We can help with grant writing. So if you find grants that you're interested in applying for and you need the initial support on getting started, we can definitely help provide those services and get you started there. We can also talk about different tax incentives that are available related to environmental work and how to support you in receiving those incentives. Some of that is changing a lot given the current administration, so we're kind of keeping our eyes open to the ways that we can continue to support this work right now. We also are sharing different grant opportunities. So in our membership portal. And if you become a member, you'll see that we will be sharing grant opportunities there so that folks know what's available to them in their different areas or even nationally to support their organizations. We're going to be hosting a couple of other sessions in the next couple of months around this work. And so just a couple of those include building a climate justice career. So if you're new to the movement or if you are thinking about changing into the climate justice movement, we'll be bringing some folks together to talk about what that looks like. We also will talk about ethics and environmental justice and how to make sure that we're doing so in a way that benefits all communities, including Latino communities. And finally, we have some resources already available around financial readiness. Is your organization ready to manage federal funding or other grant resources? And if not, we're happy to have conversations about how to do that. So just to reiterate where you can find some of the resources on our YouTube site, which the link is at the top of the page here, you can find some of the trainings that we've already recorded and uploaded as well, including how to build project budgets and looking for bridge funding opportunities, which was recorded last fall. Those are all going to be available on our official Green Latinos YouTube channel. As mentioned, we have a membership hub. And so if you are not a member of Green Latinos, your organization or you as an individual can join. There are different levels that you can support, starting from $0. And so if you want to join, there are all the benefits listed here that you can receive from joining our membership. And one of those benefits is having access to our resource hub. And so you can see here, we quite often share different resources coming out from our community, including things like how to take care of yourself, how to have disaster relief support. But then also on this page, you'll see that we've uploaded all of the presentations that LatinoJustice has also recorded that was talked about earlier. So you can find all of those on our membership hub as well. And finally, the Colaborativo 40 website is still up and running. And so if you go to this website, you will be able to find all of the resources that we've produced with LatinoJustice, as well as other resources that are relevant for this particular work. And so we encourage you to look at the Colaborativo 40 website. Here's just a snapshot of some of the other resources that are currently available on here and how we can help support different people in doing some of this work. And in order to contact Green Latinos, the best way to get a hold of us for more support is by emailing us. So on this slide, you'll find both my email as well as Margarita's email. I do want to note that we are traveling a little bit in the next month and a half. And so please be patient as we get back to you. But we are committed to supporting everyone as much as we can as well. And with that, we've reached the end of our presentation. So thank you all for watching. Feel free to contact Roberto or my team, and we're happy to support you in any way that we can around, setting your organization up for success. Right.
And cut. All right, well, thank you.